everyone, today I got a great surprise for you, a 2014 Honda Accord EXL 4-cylinder. This car is world known for its reliability and also its ability to give you some fun, some laughs, some smiles per gallon, right? I used to have one of these, a 2005 Honda Accord. I literally drove it till the wheels fell off. You can see those videos up above. And these things just run forever and they're great. Now mine was a V6, this is a 4-cylinder, but I'm guaranteeing that it's probably gonna have just about as much power as that mine had, probably even a little bit more. So I'm gonna take you around it, show you some things that I enjoy about it, some things that my friend who owns this vehicle really enjoys about this car, and then we'll take it for a drive as well. So let's get started. So of course, the front of the car, typical Honda, you can see nice big emblem there. I certainly like that. You like to represent Honda, especially if you're a Honda guy like me or my friend that owns this car. One thing I like to talk about on this vehicle, even though this isn't the 6-cylinder that would have the upgraded headlights, you can see they really took time to make it very interesting. The housing of the, what do you call it, xenon bulb there, it kind of extends out. It's almost a circular shape, but it's cut in half. Even here for the turn signal light, rather than just have the orange bulb and the plastic here, they have part of the middle plastic wrap around on the inside, kind of like a 3D look. And that's pretty interesting. So I certainly like that. Comes with fog lights, is nice. And the chrome trim around this car, which I'll show you even around the back and on the side, is very nice, very good detail. I like the big wrap around in the front of this grille here. Of course, all the new cars are doing really big grills, but even for its time, it did pretty well. And I like the venting at the bottom as well. The hexagon shapes, that's always a nice feature for any car, especially a coupe like this. You kind of want to have that sport feel to it, of course. So it looks very good. And one thing I will mention as well is you can see the pinstriping. You can even notice the H little emblem for Honda within the pinstriping. That is just classy right there. This is black pinstriping on this car. Really matches the car well. I'm not a person that really likes pinstriping all that much, but on this car it really pops out and it really works. And if you come around the side here, you can see you got the turn signals integrated into the mirrors, which is nice. Definitely a nice low profile. Really getting reminiscent of my old V6 Accord Coupe, that's for sure. So, you know, they really took time to make this car look good for its age. I think Honda does very well overall, letting their cars age well. I mean, I think there's plenty of people that would see this car and probably guess it's maybe like a 2017, 2018. All right, so let's go around the side, check out some of the wheels, check out some of the other features and the back side as well, because it gets even better from there. The back side of this Accord may even be better than the front. It just really stands out. It has a really nice big rear, and who doesn't like that, right? But nice big badging, again, so important. Really looks good. Even the lettering always does well. The chrome trim down here, very simple, but just laid right. Just works right into these back reflectors here. Now, it is too bad that they don't actually light up, but it is a nice look. And then you have some fake venting on either side, which can always work as well. It's not too much, it's a very nice accent, so I can appreciate that. I do like the rear spoiler here, little lip to it, works in the brake light as well, so that's nice. And it just comes down really flat and sharp. I definitely like that. These back tail lights, they wrap around really nice. They have a really good look to them. I would wish that they were LED, but even still, even with not being LED, they look very nice. All right, hopping into the Honda Accord Coupe. This is definitely a nice sporty feel, that's for sure. The first thing that catches my eye is the carbon fiber. This is just a really nice look, and it goes all the way around. I have some right here on the front left. You can see it comes right onto the left side, or the right side of the car, and it wraps around on that door as well. So steering wheel feel, it's leather wrapped. You got paddle shifters. They are plastic, but they definitely, you know, they look good. They're pretty standard. It definitely feels good to have that on a car like this. Again, it's a coupe, so that's what I would kind of expect. Nice grab handles into the door here. This does have like a white leather with black look to it. So you got some of the white leather on the door here. It's semi-soft touch on the top, carbon fiber. Then obviously some of the fake aluminum trim from the door handle wraps into the leather. Visibility. Back window, it's good. You know, it's a coupe. Side windows in the passenger are a lot larger than the old ones are. Probably at least maybe 80% larger. So that makes a big difference. The back C-pillars are always large in these cars. Any coupe kind of is. But these aren't as terrible. And again, those back windows definitely make a difference. And as always, these windows for the driver and passenger are nice and large. They wrap even farther behind than where you can even see. So it just definitely gives you a good feel. It makes you feel like you're in a dome kind of glass. Of course, we have the sunroof here letting in a lot of light. And again, other than that, it's, you know, typical Honda. We have our 2 double screens here. We definitely have our buttons for the climate controls, which is nice. They changed a little bit in the design, and it definitely looks good. Of course, we do have a volume knob here that is very important. You know, they started to take that away, which I don't like in some of the newer models. And one thing I definitely like is this gauge cluster. It looks very good. You have just the red outline just kind of in there, just stands out to me right away. You can see that the kilometers per hour are pressed in, whereas the miles per hour are kind of stepped out. It makes it that much more noticeable. So some of the features that this car has, other than like a sunroof and stuff, is heated front seats. One thing I do like is this little compartment. You know, it's just kind of hidden. It almost looks like it'd probably be nothing, but you can open it up and fit some CDs or something in there, or something you don't really want people to see. Red start button there. So let me go ahead and start her up. Foot on the brake. There we go. And you can see the gauges come to life, and they look even better. There's some information here. It's probably about a 3-inch circle screen, and we have some readouts on temperature and stuff, and outside and inside, or engine temperature and things like that. This is clearly not touchscreen. There is a plastic window in front of it. Now, one thing I will say, you can see here as I put on the blinker for the right side, you can see in this nice large about 7-inch screen what's going on. There's indicators. You can even see my Santa Fe back there, and this is certainly the kind of thing where you could see 2 to 3 lanes over, no problem. Now, it is not 1080p, but it is good definition. It's definitely probably, I'd say it's higher than standard definition. I wouldn't say it's full 720p. But it is more than adequate, more than fine to see everything that you're looking at. And for the time when this came out, no one else is doing this kind of thing. And even still, almost no one is. Other than my Santa Fe behind me, like Hyundai, no one's really doing that. And I don't understand why. Now, this car, it does not do it on the left side. It's only on the right, but that's fine. It has kind of like avoidance detection, and so there's some cameras around here, like one in the front here. And so if you notice this little piece up here, it's an actual indicator that will flash as you're coming up on a car. So not only will you hear the beeps and the tones coming at you, but it'll be flashing in front of you as well. I think that pretty much covers it for some of the big features, other than having an actual sport mode as well. So we may try that out. And again, the steering wheel itself feels very good. You have all your buttons here for your cruise control. Cruise control on Hondas are always great. Me personally, I always just leave cruise on and then I just cancel it, set it. I just love it. And they did really good at matching the styles here. It looks good. You have your Bluetooth controls. So the center stack here looks pretty nice. Obviously, you got all your controls up there. Down here, as I mentioned, you have your secret hideaway compartment. You have a 12-volt cigarette outlet, USB and aux auxiliary, and some kind of rubberized material here to kind of keep your phone in place and stuff. You got your controls for your heated seats. The shifter feels good, looks good, very clean. Nothing super different about it, but it definitely looks good. Obviously, you got your standard handbrake, 2 cup holders. They have the little bump outs in there to kind of keep your drink in place. And then we'll take a look at the inside here, and you know, Batman fits, so that's always a pass. All right, Batman, you did your job. So, and in here you have a 12-volt cigarette outlet, little spot for your change, and it's not really too deep. I feel like the one on my 2005 Accord might have been a little bit bigger, but this one seems a little bit wider. And there's no place for like pens or anything up top, and it is just a single one, and it does not move forward or back, which the other ones used to, but it does kind of have a bump out here, which is important because this is the side where your hand is. So even though it can't slide forward, you do got this piece, which I can still reach the shifter while it's in park with my hand here. So that's important. Standard glove box here. Decent. It's not really damped or lined with felt or anything, but most Hondas aren't. So let's see the 1 liter test. Just barely. I'll give it a pass, but I only pass because the bottle's plastic and it'll bend. But it'll definitely fit any normal size bottle, that's for sure. As always, I'm gonna do it for the YouTube, and I'm gonna hop back here. Now, just like my old Accord, it is very difficult. Not super difficult, but it's a little tight getting back there, and these cars are very low. So if it's anything like mine, all you need to do, just grab this handle, slides forward. That's very nice, one touch. And then you can see here, there is some space. There's about a foot of space. So I'm gonna go ahead, climb back here, and honestly, that wasn't too bad. Now, once you're in the back seat, these cars are actually very comfortable to be in. So it's not like a normal coupe. I mean, I already don't even want to get up. I'm just comfortable. The seats are comfortable. Even though there's only about 3 inches of padding, very soft. The back seats are nice. You know, you got a little armrest here, cup holder. The windows, actually, this is a lot larger than my old car, so you don't feel as claustrophobic. Now, I'll go ahead and grab the front seat and lock it in place. Now, I'm pretty sure that's plenty of space for somebody to be in, like for me, and I still have about 4 inches of leg room. Got mat pockets back here, no vents or anything, no personal lights. There is hooks back here if you need to put your clothing, but hopefully they don't because I'm sitting back here now. But no, it's still a very nice, comfortable place to be, even for a coupe. It more reminds you of being in a sedan with the amount of space you have. Yeah, go ahead and take off here. And one feature as I go to drive, I'll just keep talking here, that I noticed and my friend pointed out is there's a button right here on the column stock for your turn signal. And if I put it in, you can see the camera comes up. Now, I didn't turn on the right turn signal. I just pressed that button and it's just gonna stay on. I mean, I really like that. So one thing I noticed right away is the steering is pretty light. It definitely feels good. It's pretty responsive, but it's definitely light, and I can definitely appreciate that. Now, some people will say like, all right, well, you know, you really want that hydraulic feel to it. I feel like as long as you're getting enough feedback from the car, then, you know, it really doesn't matter. So it's very smooth. I'm not really stepping on it, but there's definitely plenty of power, even for this 4-cylinder car. I don't feel like it's struggling at all. It's definitely not going to take the place of a full manual car. If you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna, instead of getting manual, I'm gonna get the automatic because it has paddle shifters, this is not going to be the same for you. The exhaust is not very loud at all. It has a good note to it. I definitely think it sounds better from the outside. You can't really hear it as much, but you can definitely hear the engine and it sounds good. It's definitely a coupe feel. It's definitely a sporty car. Even if it's not the fastest model, it definitely still picks up and goes. Like, Honda's definitely good for giving you some fun and making sure that you're able to use all that you can out of their engine. And one thing I do like is that it will hang the gears. So 3,000 jumps to 4,000, 4,500 RPMs. So I don't know if you can notice there's like some green lines here that are coming around the dash. like LEDs, and I'm pretty sure that's because it's saying that I'm kind of driving in a more economical fashion. Let's see here. Yeah, as soon as I step on it, they immediately went away. So it does have a sport mode, so I'm gonna drop it down into sport mode now and just kind of feel what the difference is here. All right, so without even changing my position on the pedal, it immediately jumped up about another 1,000 RPMs. Now I'm sitting at about 2,500 RPMs. And I'm just gonna tap the throttle. Much more immediate response, that's for sure. Now I'm just gonna mash the pedal. Yeah, it's definitely a sport mode, that's for sure. I'm gonna go back into drive. And it immediately becomes way more docile. The green lights come back on. It kind of, you know, until I'm going uphill, but before that, it was just sitting above maybe 1,000 RPMs. Whereas, like I said, it went to about 2,500 in sport mode. So I'm gonna tap it the way I did before. So I do like that. It's not as responsive, but it's still responsive. Meaning that each time I kicked it in, maybe about a 1/4 inch, I felt the engine in the car just want to pick up. But in sport mode, that pickup was a lot more immense. But I appreciate that either way, even if you're driving in an economical fashion, as soon as you go to push on it, the car goes. That's important. It's a coupe. I don't care if it's a 4-cylinder or not, you're in a sports kind of car. And you want to feel like at any moment you can kind of jump ahead of traffic. So I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to push in. So it immediately jumped up to 4,000 RPMs, and again, I'm in drive. So now I'm going to put it into sport mode. I'm going to go ahead and tap it. Yeah, it's still about 4,500 RPMs. Okay, so I will say there's probably about a 500 RPM difference between sport and in drive mode as far as pushing it in about, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 in. But that's just RPMs. Again, like I said, the actual feel of the car, the pulling power, you can feel the difference. So I'm gonna try sport mode with the paddle shifters. I'm coming down a hill. 3rd gear, 5,500 RPMs. I do like that it always hangs the gears for you. Even in 2nd gear, 6,000 RPMs. So I'll say that's probably the most important part. Maybe the shifting of the paddle shifters aren't perfect. It's not true sports car, Porsche level paddle shifting. But to me, the most important part of paddle shifting is, will it hang gears? That's what's gonna give you the most amount of fun. That's what you're gonna feel the engine actually start to talk to you. And you know, that's where you're gonna get your torque from, downshifting, taking off. All right, so far as ride quality, I'm on some back roads, you know, it's about 45, 50 miles per hour, so we're able to do some good speeds. We got a lot of hills and twisties, and I'm gonna put it back just into drive, just so it's not hanging gears at all. It's comfortable, it really is. It's just as good as any of the regular Accord sedans. You know, we definitely sit low in the car, but honestly, I've been in a lot of SUVs lately, and I definitely haven't had my old coupe for a while now. But being in this coupe, like, even though we're low, it still feels comfortable. It really does. You can definitely do a long drive in this kind of car and feel good about it. And the seats are definitely doing their job. They hug me pretty well on the sides. Nice, good bolstering. Pretty decent leg support, even though there's not like leg extensions, which, you know, most cars don't really have, unless you kind of get up into like luxury cars and stuff. But it feels good. Now I'm kind of alone on the street here, going down a hill. You can probably see the camera shaking a little bit. That's because I'm just twisting the wheel, and it's just definitely responsive. So when I was in the parking lot, it was very easy to turn. There wasn't a lot of resistance whatsoever. But here on the street, I'm getting pretty decent feedback, and where I'm trying to point it, for the most part, it's going. As far as road noise, You do hear a lot from the outside. You can hear a lot of the engine note, but I can definitely hear like the cars passing, not terribly. Certainly not worse than my old Accord Coupe, that's for sure. But definitely coming out of like my new Hyundai Santa Fe with like acoustic glass and stuff like that, you do notice a little bit more. Now I'll go ahead and shut this cover to the sunroof, and it's not terrible. Again, I mean, I can hear the cars passing, but it's not obnoxious. There is a bit of wind noise, but also this car has the visors, the, what do you call it, rain visors. So, you know, that's not standard on a car typically, and I really like them, especially on a coupe. You know what I mean? You only have so many windows, so if you want one cracked, you also don't want it one where it's going to be raining on you, so it's always nice to have. And I think the trade-off is definitely worth it. As far as braking power, actually, I'm coming up to this light, 40 miles per hour, late braking, not braking very hard, but just consistently, and it feels very good. That was a very solid stop. There wasn't much give at all, and I've been driving for a while, braking, going up and down hills and stuff, so I would think if there was going to be some fade by now, you know, it would have kind of shown up. All right, so that's it. This is the 2014 Honda Accord Coupe EXL 4-cylinder. Great car. It's going to hold up for a while. This car actually has over 100,000 miles on it already, and it really doesn't feel like it. It drove great. It looks nice on the interior, has a lot of great features, and again, it's gonna hold up well over time. So let me know what you guys think about this car in the comment section down below. Are you guys in the market for a Honda Accord? Are you in the market for a coupe period? Are you just checking out this video and then maybe now gonna buy the car because it looks so great? I'm interested to know your thoughts. I appreciate your time. SK Lifestyle, I will see you guys next time.